Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Kelly Stafford on the road to recovery. Brand new insight into the complication that made her brain surgery procedure last twice as long as anticipated.
There are factors that have nothing to do with driving. Michigan lawmakers push for a new law to change how insurance companies come up with your rates.
But first, a little boy fighting to survive after police say his own father intentionally shot him in the face with a shotgun.
Right now, 32-year-old Michael Glantz is locked up on $10 million bond. His 2-year-old son fighting for his life at Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor.
And police say Glantz got into an argument with the boy's mother, initially tried to shoot him with a handgun, and when that gun jammed, he came back with a shotgun and pulled the trigger. Priya Mann spent the day talking with friends and family. She's got an update now on the boy's condition.
2-year-old Ryker is in critical but stable condition here at Mott Children's. He's already had 5 surgeries with many more expected. His right hand was severely damaged when he brought it up to his face to protect himself as his father opened fire.
It's going to be a long road for this little guy. Long road, lots of operations. The parents are helping, and Ryker's a fighter, and we expect him to pull through this.
2-year-old Ryker Glantz was shot at least twice. His own father accused of aiming the gun at his baby's face.
There isn't no way to make sense of this. He lost his damn mind.
32-year-old Michael Glantz couldn't handle the fact that Ryker's mom was leaving him. Last week, Nicole McCarthy was moving out of the Jackson home she shared with Michael. Nicole expected him to be at work, but he showed up unannounced.
She tried to pull out of there, and she didn't realize he was had her blocked in, and here he comes.
During the argument, police say Glantz pointed a gun at Ryker's face and pulled the trigger. The handgun malfunctioned.
First gun didn't go off. Praise the Lord for that. She threw herself over the baby. He went in the house again. That's when she ran with the baby.
Nicole strapped Ryker into his car seat but didn't know Glantz had gone looking for a shotgun. Police say he shot Ryker in the car.
She threw her body over the baby twice. She's a mess.
Police say Glantz then ran after Nicole, trying to shoot her. The handgun malfunctioned again, and Glantz ran away, but was arrested a short time later.
Men that I've never seen cry within seconds of hearing it. You feel for them. When we all heard about it, everybody wants to hug the family. Everybody wants to say, what can we do for you?
The family says they've been overwhelmed by the support.
If you know Jackson County, there's, I think, about 160,000 people. If it was their way, you'd have 160,000 people over at Mott's.
Yeah, the support continues to grow. John has helped set up a GoFundMe account. The family has also set up a P.O. box if you'd like to send get well cards or cash donations. We have all of that information up on clickondetroit.com. As for Michael Glantz, he's facing multiple felonies, including attempted murder and felony firearm. Tonight, he remains behind bars. Reporting live, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
It's just unreal. All right, Priya.
We continue to follow breaking news out of Inkster. State police on the scene of a deadly shooting. Police say 3 men were meeting in that area. 1 man was shot and killed. The 2 suspects, they ran off. We're going to update this story as we get new information.
Now to Good Health, we are getting brand new insight into Kelly Stafford's 12-hour brain surgery on Wednesday.
The surgery took twice as long as anticipated. Let's go ahead and bring in Dr. Frank McGeorge about the surprise that doctors found and what she can expect now during her recovery. Hey, Doc.
Hey, Devin and Sandra. Yeah, any surgery on the brain is obviously delicate, but on top of that, everyone has a unique anatomy that sometimes doesn't become apparent until a surgeon is staring right at it. Well, in Kelly Stafford's case, she said via Instagram that it was an abnormal vein that was the challenge.
In my estimation, it's not actually a vein, it's an artery.
Dr. Stephen Kalkanis is the chairman of neurosurgery at Henry Ford Hospital. While he didn't treat Kelly Stafford, he is very familiar with the surgery that she underwent and the problem that her surgeons probably encountered.
A small but very important vessel that can sometimes loop over this tumor on its way to the back portion of the brainstem and the cerebellum. And if this vessel is damaged in any way, it can cause a stroke.
Fortunately, it was identified and her surgery was a success, the most concerning complication having been avoided.
One of the most important things we look for in surgeries of this type is whether or not that facial nerve is working, and that facial nerve allows us to smile and to have a symmetry about our faces. Based on the pictures that we're seeing of her afterwards, it appears that that is intact, which is a wonderful outcome.
Stafford shared video of her up and walking on social media. While she seems slightly unsteady, that's not uncommon after a surgery where the tumor was removed from the nerve responsible for balance.
The brain sometimes can be stunned, and these nerves are still in shock from the surgery itself. But over time and considerable amount of time, weeks to months, there will be some improvement.
Now, in fact, Dr. Kalkanis says he always tells patients that the way you are when you wake up from surgery is frankly the worst it will be, and it will only get better from there. And based on her social media posts, it looks like Kelly Stafford is well on her way to a good recovery. And of course, we wish her the best.
Yeah, it is so good to see her up and walking.
And we've been able to see her recovery basically through social media.
All right. Thanks so much, Doc. Devin?
Now to two words that fire up just about every single Detroiter: auto insurance. The debate has raged for years, but rates in the city and the state, for that matter, still way above the national average. And today, a group of lawmakers pushed a new idea they hope will gain traction across the country. Business editor Rod Maloney shows us how they're trying to get your credit score out of the equation. Rod.
I am sick and tired of paying excessive auto insurance.
When you're paying the nation's highest rates, Detroiters like Dottie Sharp don't hold back.
I pay $200 a month for my auto insurance. I have one car, haven't had no tickets, haven't had no accidents. And then when I first get the insurance, 3 years ago, it was $169. Now it's $200. It keeps going up. Why is it going up?
Getting answers to those questions, of course, is pretty much futile. So Democratic Detroit State Representative Tyrone Carter says he intends to try and get Lansing to listen. This time, calling it a kitchen table issue of grand scale, particularly in Detroit, where they make getting ahead nearly impossible for so many.
This is an impediment to lifestyles. Your pension is taxed. Now you're paying high car insurance. The only way you can get a raise in the city of Detroit is you move out and lower your car insurance. That doesn't have to happen.
Like so many politicians before her, Detroit Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib wants to take this state issue national. She's proposing legislation in Washington that would take credit scores out of your auto insurance quote equation.
It should be based on your driving history, your driving record, not based on these other factors that I believe are loopholes.
When are we going to fix this? Or are we just talking again?
Now, I just heard from the auto insurance industry representatives, and they say that they do their rating factors for Michigan include Ohio and Indiana. And they say that there, it's half as much as it is here in Michigan. And they say what difference for those two states is as in the rest of the country is it requires drivers to purchase unlimited lifetime medical benefits with their auto insurance. And that's what the industry claims is the problem. Back to you.
Well, then what is the next step now for Tlaib and Carter on this, Rod?
They're going to be holding town halls. What they're trying to do is to sort of develop a groundswell that they can bring to Lansing or even to Washington to try and get political help on this and help politicians all around understand how serious and how devastating these insurance rates are to their constituency.
Yeah, we'll stay on it too. All right, Rod. Hard to top the weather we had for Easter Sunday, but we tried. Look at this absolutely perfect day today, just in time for everyone to head back to work.
Perfect timing, right? Warmer temperatures too, but Ben is keeping an eye on the possibility of some rain heading into Tuesday. It's not going to last long though, right, Ben?
No, in fact, most of this forecast is going to be dry, and in fact, it's going to be warm as well. Look at these temperatures out there right now. We're at 68 officially. West zone in the 70s. We're at 72 also in Adrian. A little bit cooler with some of that wind coming off the water, but compared to yesterday, this is even better than Easter Sunday. Temperatures are warmer in every location compared to the Sunday afternoon numbers. So here's how the rest of the 7 is going to shake out. Thunderstorms developing tonight, but yes, it's not going to last very long. We're sort of smoothing the bumps out as far as temperatures go over the week, and we'll look at that in the 7-day forecast. The weekend, though, not quite as nice as what we had on Sunday. All those details coming up in just a few minutes. Guys?
Well, if they don't pull off a win tonight, the Pistons can start making tee times and plans for the summer.
Everything else, right? Yep. It's a big game. Bernie is live at LCA tonight ahead of a must-win Game 4 for the Pistons. Hey, Bernie.
Kids, you know, what we're all trying to do is avoid talking about the game because pretty much the Bucks have dominated the Pistons in these first 3 games. So the Pistons have a couple other things on the agenda tonight. If they lose tonight, they will set a record for consecutive postseason losses. Not something to be proud of. They now stand at 13. We've got highlights of Pistons. They practiced at LCA yesterday. Bucks favored by 12.5 tonight. Blake Griffin listed as probable for tonight's game, which probably means he's going to play. Had 27 on Saturday in Game 3. Dwayne Case says tonight he feels his guys will definitely show up.
we owe it to our fans to come out and lay it on the line. We're going against one of the best team in the league. And again, I like the way our guys bounced back. I thought the effort was there. And again, a great learning experience for our young players.
All right, now the reason we're in this hallway and sort of down in the bowels of this place is because the Pistons are practicing right now and will go till about 6 o'clock, and then we'll come off the court. Tonight's game tips just after 8 o'clock. Tickets still available. Bucks favored by 12.5 to close it out in 4 straight. Kids, back to you. We're back later in sports with much more on the Pistons and Bucks Game 4.
You know, it'd be nice if the fans could somehow duplicate the energy that was in that building the other night, Bernie. It was pretty electric.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Blake Griffin back on the court will definitely help that also. I think there's a big factor they had missed in the first couple.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Bernie. We are off and running on a Monday. Here's Hank.
Governor Whitmer taking her plan to fix the roads directly to the people. You'll hear what they have to say about her controversial plan. New tonight.
I still have absolutely no idea what any of this is. Maybe you can help. But I don't know if it really matters because we know what it's for. The Grand Prix. Today's moving day. We've got a lot of stuff.
All right, Nate, but coming up first, there were warning signs that were missed. Devastating new developments into the bombings in Sri Lanka that claimed close to 300 lives. Next.
New at 6.
Sterling Heights police find a way to stop a runaway drunk driving suspect, and the reason he gave for trying to get away adds a rather ironic twist to the story, and we'll have that tonight at 6.
Plus, this man's heading to jail after police say he choked his landlord in order to steal from her. New at 6, she tells us how she escaped in a decision that may have saved her life.
All right, now to new details uncovered in the Sri Lanka Easter bombings that killed nearly 300 people yesterday. Authorities now say there was a memo warning of an attack 8 to 10 days before it happened.
Also, officials are working to find those responsible for the attacks. We know the attackers could be a small Sri Lankan terror group, with groups like ISIS providing possible influence or even help. The FBI now also investigating in Sri Lanka, and the main question now is why wasn't something done to try to prevent those attacks?
Well, how many churches to be protected? But we informed that there is we never expected an attack of this magnitude.
More than 500 people were hurt in the attacks, 4 Americans killed. The government has issued a curfew as it works to gather new information about what happened.
A little more than 5 weeks now before the 2019 Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix presented by Lear. But the prep work to get everything ready for the race started today. As Nick Monticelli reports from Belle Isle, there is a ton of work behind the scenes, and they are actually becoming more efficient at it every year.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have no idea what any of this stuff is for. I'm told it's flooring and posts and safety stuff. Oh my. Okay, they say so. But the folks who are running this organization, the entire race, say that they're trying to do this as fast as they can with as little impact as they can. And they're changing the time frame and shortening it again. There's a good chance you have either seen the Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix on TV or have been there in person. But there's also a good chance you have never considered what it takes to make all of it happen.
But what you're seeing kind of behind us here is some of the fencing and some of the flooring. That's
so you
a
do
lot.
Know what this is.
I'm somewhat. It's not like I could set that up, right?
Merrill Kane is a spokesman for the race and says crews will work 24 hours a day to get this set up, now that they have shortened the time they're spending on Belle Isle.
We've trimmed out as much as we can. This year will be 7 days less to build out the Grand Prix from what it was a year ago.
The first round of setup is a lot of flooring and fencing, then grandstands, barrier walls, and more. But race organizers say their goal is to impact as few people as they can.
You'll notice the presence of our crews working, but you will not be impacted by any closures. All the attractions, all the roadways, everything remains open. All the access to Scott Fountain and the bridge and the picnic shelters and the casino and all of those things remain open and will remain open until basically about a week before the race.
Which, by the way, starts on May 31st. I'm Belle Isle. Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
All right, Nick, and after that last race, the crews start tearing down immediately, and that takes a little more than 2 weeks to get done. Today would have been a fine racing day.
It really would have. It was picture perfect out there today.
Gorgeous.
Something tells me it's going to be stifling hot when that race finally gets going, because that's usually what happens.
That's how it works.
But until then, we would love the heat. I think after coming off of the early parts of April that we have enjoyed, and we'll put that in air quotes, here's what's going on currently. We've had plenty of sunshine today, just a continuation of the beautiful stuff that we had yesterday. You can see what's on its way, that line of showers and even some thunderstorms stretching from southern parts of Minnesota right through the UP, and eventually that's going to swing through. It's not going to be as put together as what you see here by the time it arrives, but we're still looking for some showers and thunderstorms within the next 24 hours. Current temperatures are a big difference depending on where you're at. We're at 68, didn't get in on the upper 70s and mid 80s that they're seeing down there in central Illinois and parts of Missouri. But where that rain is, that's really cool temperatures to the 30s and 40s underneath that. So timing wise, we're going to get through the rest of the afternoon and evening, no problem. Clouds start increasing tonight. And then we get after midnight, and that's when we're going to start to see the first of some raindrops, maybe a few showers or a rumble of thunder overnight. Looks like there's going to be a little bit more of a line try to get formed here as we head through the morning commute on Tuesday. But this is not going to last all day. There's a cold front that's going to be chasing that out. So by noon, we get dry conditions, and behind that, we will start to see that sinking air. That's going to get rid of the clouds. The sunshine is going to emerge, but it's going to be fighting colder air on the other side of that front. So those two working together, probably dropping our temperature about 3-4 degrees compared to the numbers that we saw today, but still above average for this time of year as we close out the afternoon. So lows tonight going down to 54. That's a low temperature tonight, but the clouds will be on the increase, and we'll start watching for that thunder as we get later past the midnight hour into tomorrow morning's commute. So once that front goes through in the afternoon, here's what we're going to be left with for high temperatures. It's still not too shabby. 68 in the city. We'll call that officially 68 out at the airport too. And with winds tomorrow coming out of the west, we're not going to have that lake influence that we saw from so many of those numbers today. Mid to upper 60s in the south zone, Lenawee, Monroe County. You're going to be getting to some respectable numbers. But here in our west zone, where that cold front crosses through earlier, there are going to be some spots that max out in the upper 50s tomorrow. Fenton, Clarkston, Flint, you're going to be looking at upper 50s by 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And parts of our north zone as well. A lot of 50s for highs here, but still making it to the 60s in some of those places where that front crosses through just a little bit later. Look at this, though. 7-day forecast all the way through Monday of next week. We are going to touch 60 degrees every single day of the next 7. So no more of this roller coaster stuff. Yeah. We're just going to sail smooth through the 60s.
Finally smoothing out. Yeah. Looks nice.
Let's hope it stays that way.
I know.
Thanks, Ben. Well, it's a story that'll remind you it could always be worse. The crazy record just set up in Marquette that has folks there wondering if summer is ever really going to arrive.
Great timing, right? But first, a deadly crash involving a car and a motorcycle. And it's who ran off after the crash that might surprise you next.
His son was born inside a jail cell because the mother was locked up for driving on a suspended license.
And that is just unacceptable to me. If you're a judge.
The ACLU says if the family was not poor, it never would have happened.
It's morally wrong and it's unconstitutional. We need to put a stop to it.
Now the father is speaking out, supporting a plan to do away with cash bail in Michigan for nonviolent criminals.
For a woman that's 8 months pregnant, she's not running away. She can't afford to pay your bond.
The Defenders, tomorrow at 5 on Local 4.
The search is on at this hour for a motorcyclist after a deadly crash in Detroit. It happened right around 2 this morning on Gratiot near Peter Hunt on the city's east side. Police say a motorcycle traveling at a high rate of speed collided with a minivan. A passenger on that motorcycle was killed. The driver of the minivan was not hurt. That motorcyclist quickly took off after the crash. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. Across Michigan tonight, an investigation is underway after pet dogs and several wild animals are poisoned near the Michigan-Wisconsin border in the UP.
At least 4 dogs have died from eating poisoned meat. Investigators also discovered several coyotes, raccoons, and 1 wolf to have been poisoned as well. The dogs died less than 30 minutes after ingesting the stuff. The DNR has sent samples of the tainted meat to a lab. They hope to figure out what kind of poison was being used. Good news if you're heading to the gas pump today. AAA Michigan reports gas prices across Metro Detroit have gone down a dime a gallon since last week. Average price for a gallon of regular unleaded about $2.82, which is 6 cents less than the same time last year.
New at 5:30.
Say hello to the newest member of the Local 4 family.
It's still the most euphoric feeling that I have ever experienced. Made in Detroit, right here.
Kimberly Gill has someone extra special she wants you to meet before she returns to work this week.
The Mueller report is out, but Democrats want more, and today they're taking action to get it.
We all know the roads here in Michigan are bad, and now the governor has a plan to fix the roads. She's taking her message and her plan to the people here in Flat Rock.
It's a chance for you to ask the tough questions to the governor herself. Lawmakers, including Governor Gretchen Whitmer, held a town hall to talk about the tough obstacles facing folks in Michigan. The governor takes her plan to fix the roads to the people.
Today, Governor Whitmer meeting with people in Flat Rock, talking potholes and road repairs. This as the governor fights to get support for her controversial plan, which would cost taxpayers more at the pump. Our consumer investigator, Hank Winchester, is live in Flat Rock tonight. Good evening, Hank.
45 cents at the pump. It's not small, I understand. It's going to be hard for a lot of people in our state. That's why we ramp it up over a succession of increments, 15-cent increments. But we have to ramp it up fast enough to stave off how quickly we're dropping. That's the key.
All right, well, we want to give you some more information there as we are having a little bit of trouble with Hank. We are going to actually work on trying to get back to Hank in a couple of minutes. In other news tonight, the Detroit businessman who's in a public fight with the city's mayor was in court today for a hearing involving the sale of a riverfront property. Robert Carmack is facing 4 felonies. He and his attorney asked the court to dismiss the case against him, saying the deed that Carmack had for the land does, in fact, check out. They also say the city can't prove he did anything wrong.
You would have to prove that Mr. Carmack knew that the deed was not a good deed, or it was fraudulent, or he passed the deed with the intent to defraud. They cannot prove that, Judge.
Carmack says the public feud with the mayor is the reason the city is going after him. His hearing will continue later on this week.
And let's try and send it back out to Hank Winchester, who's live in Flat Rock. Actually, we'll get to him in just a second, but first, the state police arrested 12 sex offenders last week after a 2-day sweep across Metro Detroit. It was called Operation Final Countdown. Troopers worked with U.S. Marshals to target offenders who stopped registering in Macomb, Oakland, and Wayne counties. 4 teams arrested 12 people out of 26 targets. 1 person was found in an out-of-state treatment facility. All 12 have since been charged.
Detroit police investigating after a man is shot on the west side.
The 25-year-old victim was shot in the leg in a drive-by in front of a house on Pinehurst. The incident happened shortly after he and his girlfriend had an altercation with a group of men. Not long after the man was shot, his girlfriend was shot at. She was not hit by a bullet, but was injured by some glass. The search for the suspect still ongoing. If you know anything, contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP.
All right, right now we want to go ahead and go back to our top story.
Actually, we'll get to Hank in just 1 second. Also this morning, a man is shot after a fight at a bar in Detroit. Police say a fight at the State Fair Lounge on Hoover Street and East State Fair escalated to gunfire. A 21-year-old man was injured in this. Police say someone drove the man to the hospital where he is stable tonight.
All right, it looks like we now have Hank. We're going to go ahead and go back out to our Hank Winchester. He's live in Flat Rock. Hank?
Sandra, Jason, good evening to both of you. Good evening, everyone. This is an opportunity for Governor Whitmer to take her message on the budget directly to the people. It was here at Flat Rock High School before about 200 or 300 different people that the governor laid out her budget and specifically talked about roads. That 45-cent gas tax, controversial to some, many angered about the possibility of paying more at the pump. Here's what the governor had to say about that gas tax.
45 cents at the pump. It's not small, I understand. It's going to be hard for a lot of people in our state. That's why we ramp it up over a succession of increments, 15-cent increments. But we have to ramp it up fast enough to stave off how quickly we're dropping. That's the key.
The governor basically saying that there's just not enough money in Michigan being put towards roads, and that's why they're crumbling. She did acknowledge the fact that some say this gas tax targets those who are lower income or those on a fixed income. That's why she touted repealing the retirement tax and focusing on those who do make less money, what she can do to help those make up that difference. Take a listen to what the governor had to say on that topic.
When the general fund money comes out of potholes and goes back into the general fund, we can get serious about cleaning up water, drinking water in particular, but I know that we think about all of Michigan water, whether it's the lakes or the rivers or the stuff that's coming out of our tap. So this gives us the ability to do that. $120 million for drinking water infrastructure.
Back out here live, she did have the support of Congresswoman Debbie Dingell, who was here in the House, other local reps representing the Democratic Party, no Republicans here, and that's going to be the real challenge moving forward. The governor knows she has to take this message to the people, have them understand it, because there are many Republicans in Lansing who say that 45-cent gas tax is not going to fly. We're live here tonight in Flat Rock. Hank Winchester, back to you.
Yeah, and Hank, did the governor just talk about roads and water, or did she cover other topics today?
She did, Jason. She's here at a high school, so she did talk about education, but she kind of wound it back to roads, saying that if we are able to move forward with this gas tax, there will be more money from the general budget that will be able to focus on children, on education. Back to you.
All right. Hank, thanks. Sandra?
With the redacted Mueller report now public, there is renewed talk today of impeachment swirling around Washington. But the President Trump, says he is not worried. In fact, his attorneys are taking action against House Democrats on a different front. Blaine Alexander has a closer look tonight from the White House.
Well, hello to you from the White House. Let's start with the Mueller report. Attorney General William Barr will testify before Congress next week, and Democrats are increasing their calls to hear from Mueller as well. But Republicans say that it's time to move on. A sunny day at the annual White House Easter egg roll. And President Trump displaying a bright outlook, despite renewed talk of impeachment among Democrats after the release of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's redacted Russia report.
Are you worried about impeachment, Mr. President?
The president tweeting, "Only high crimes and misdemeanors can lead to impeachment. There were no crimes by me, so you can't impeach." And pushing back on some of the report's findings that painted him in an unflattering light.
Are you worried that your staff is ignoring your orders as the Mueller report portrays?
Democrats divided on impeachment, some pointing to Mueller's findings around the issue of obstruction of justice.
If proven, some of this would be impeachable, yes.
All right.
Obstruction of justice, if proven, would be impeachable.
But others more cautious. House Democrats, out on recess, huddling tonight on a conference call to discuss the Mueller report. It comes as Attorney General William Barr has made a different version of the report available with fewer redactions for 12 top lawmakers in both parties. But Democrats not going to view it, instead holding out for the full, unredacted report. Republicans slamming that as playing politics.
I do encourage my colleagues, the Democrats, who have asked for transparency, who have asked for access, to actually come here and do so.
House Democrats not slowing their push to investigate President Trump, despite a new legal challenge from the president's lawyers, suing to block a subpoena from the House Oversight Committee for years of financial records from the president's businesses. And about that lawsuit, the president's attorney, Jay Sekulow, tells NBC News they will not allow congressional presidential harassment to go unanswered. Meanwhile, the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, Elijah Cummings, says that the White House is engaged in unprecedented stonewalling. At the White House, I'm Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
Meantime, the Trump administration tightening its economic sanctions on Iran. The U.S. had granted waivers to 5 countries, allowing them to buy oil from Iran. But now the U.S. says those waivers will end early next month.
Well, yes, it was gorgeous out there today. However, the big headline in weather coming out of the UP, actually, where a crazy record was set.
Yeah, not snow, but the city of Marquette has now gone 197 days in a row without reaching 60 degrees. That's over half a year.
That's unbelievable.
And of course, they've been shoveling for a good portion of that. But even as things start to transition, it's above freezing up there right now. That's about the best thing we can say. It's 37 in Marquette right now. Now, to be honest, there's plenty of cloud cover and a lot of rain in the UP too. So that's also keeping temperatures down. But we're at a balmy 68 down here. So let's get to the numbers as far as that record goes. The old record of 196 days, that was set back in 1970. And if you want a little perspective of this, as of last night, the town of Ishpeming, just to the west, still has 3 inches of snow on the ground on April 22nd. So when you complain about things down here, just know it could always be worse. Sandra?
No complaints from me. All right, thank you, Ben. Today, the world celebrates Earth Day. Not only is it an important moment for us to realize how important our environment is, it's also a chance to teach younger generations that same lesson. As our Kim DeGiulio shows us, students in Romulus got their hands dirty today doing just that.
You couldn't have picked a better day for Earth Day. Perfect temps to get outside and do some gardening. And that's exactly what these students from the Romulus School District are doing. And they're doing it all to help beautify their school. It's a new district-wide project for the Romulus students.
The outdoors is a classroom on its own.
You ready? 1, 2, there you go.
The 7 schools are using Earth Day to teach their students the importance of keeping the outdoors beautiful, even if you have to get a little dirty to do it.
Bro, I did not know I was going to get this dirty.
We do that. It's nature. We got to deal with it.
I know.
They were at first a little skeptical about the digging and, but now they're just like, okay, they're all dirty. Everybody's getting in it.
The school district teamed up with Romulus-based CQC Landscaping to teach the students basic landscaping skills.
Take the shovel and start on the edge. See how deep I got?
Wick Elementary principal Kimberly Presley is excited for a beautiful new entrance to her school, and she hopes in years to come they can find more projects so other students can get this same learning experience.
But definitely looking at beautifying the whole school. Just making sure Romulus looks good over here.
And their work won't end here. These students will water these plants that they've planted for the rest of the school year to keep them looking beautiful. Looks great, guys.
Thank you.
Happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.
Reporting from Romulus, I'm Kim DeGiulio, Local 4.
Thank you, Kim. It's win or go home tonight for the Pistons.
Yeah, Bernie's live at LCA ahead of a critical game tonight. Hey, Bernie.
Kids, down 3-0, there's not very much you can do, but Dwayne Casey has a game plan. You'll hear about it coming up.
All right, Bernie and Samsung bet the farm on this new phone, but something just isn't right with it. What the company did today that now has the tech world buzzing.
But first, our own Kimberly Gill has someone very special she wants you to meet.
Hey, this is your TV debut.
We're introducing you to the newest member of the Local 4 family as Kimberly gets ready to return to work. That's coming up next.
New at 6.
You got to see this. The dragon from the Game of Thrones comes to life in a local bakery. Coming up, we will show you how the bakery artisans brought this beast to life.
Plus, if you thought we were finished with the flu, think again. New at 6 in Good Health, why this year's flu season is a record setter.
She's taken on the most important job she'll ever have.
I had a baby and my life has changed. Like, I don't even remember who I was before.
Ahead of her big return this week, our own Kimberly Gill has someone very special she wants you to meet.
That's funny.
Isn't it? We can all relate, right?
Yeah. What sleep? What was that? We know you've missed her just about as much as we have here at Local 4.
Kimberly has spent the last several months with her brand new baby boy. Devin is back with us for the big introduction. We can't wait to meet him.
An introduction we've been excited to make. This is Basil. What a gorgeous picture. And Basil, of course, is Kimberly's beautiful baby boy. He is just precious. And Kimberly has been savoring her time at home with her son. But tonight, she's sharing with us the joys and laughs of parenthood.
Hey, this is your TV debut. Son, this is your TV debut. This is your TV debut, and this is how you treat me. But I haven't slept in weeks. I mean, he's almost 3 months old. But it's also been the best time of my life. I cannot believe that I waited this long to have a kid. And as sleep deprived as I am, it's still the most euphoric feeling that I have ever experienced. The most surprising thing, I think, is just that my maternal instinct has just kicked in. It's crazy. He knows who I am, and he whines when it's not me holding him. And it just is, it's like, oh wow, I'm somebody's mom now. I am so thankful and blessed that I am able to experience. It just, I don't want to get emotional, but it really is. He's amazing. Right, Basil? Hey. I'm probably gonna cry when I have to leave him because I haven't, really left him yet. So I don't know. I miss all of my coworkers, and I don't see how people that have more than one kid do it. People do it, right? People do it all the time, so I should be able to do it. But I'm a little bit anxious. I have no doubt he will be awake at midnight when I come home. He will be a Channel 4 watcher. You know, watch Channel 4? You know, watch Mama? The viewers have been amazing. I had never knew so many people cared. I'm really thankful for everybody who's, called or even if you just thought about us. It really makes you feel loved. Hey. You weren't supposed to do that. I've always been a very driven person, a career-oriented person. I went to college, worked really hard, got out, I got my first job, and I was like, I'm gonna kill it in this business. And I was moving from station to station, from state to state. And I woke up one morning and I was like 37, and I was like, wait a minute, like, I haven't got married, I haven't had a kid, like, what am I doing here? And before you know it, your life just goes by so quickly. And then I thought, well, okay, I'll get married and have a kid, and just thought it would be easy. And it wasn't that easy. And never thought I'd be having a kid at 42. But here we are. Now that we have him, it's just like our little life feels so complete. We've got the house that we wanted in Detroit, and I've got the job and career and the friends, and now this little guy. And, we couldn't be happier. He is a miracle. Right. Made in Detroit, right here.
So right, and as you might imagine, we were all a little excited to get to meet little Basil, and tonight at 11 we're going to take you on my trip, along with Ben and Bernie, as we went over to see Kimberly and Basil, baby boy Basil, ahead of her big return, which is coming up on Wednesday of this week. Also, you really should go hear a really funny story Kimberly has to share about a trip to Somerset with Basil, where pretty much everything went wrong. I think we can all relate to that, because of course, whatever expectations you have, they're going to be smashed.
Throw
by
those out the window, right?
Yeah. But it's just, it's so great. Beautiful.
I love seeing that video of them, and even Bernie was holding little Basil. How about that, Bernie? He didn't even cry when you held him.
Well, I've had a little bit of practice at it, so yeah, sure, absolutely. I'll tell you what freaked me out of the whole thing. I finally figured out where Kimberly was. I was looking in her office for weeks and months, and I didn't see her.
Now you know. The secret's out.
That's right.
Now I know. Shall I start this?
Yes, sir. Take it away.
Sure.
All right, here we go. Pistons could make history tonight here at LCA, but not the kind of history you want in the playoffs. Currently tied with the Knicks for postseason consecutive losses at 13. Tonight, the Bucks favored by 12.5 in Game 4 of their best-of-7 series. But Dwayne Casey says all the Pistons have to do is think small, very small.
The numbers are against us in that situation, so let's go step by step. Things we can control first, and get one possession at a time, one quarter at a time, and then ultimately one game at a time. If you try to get all those 3 games back in one night, you'll be overwhelmed.
All right, that game will tip just after 8 o'clock. Again, Pistons-Bucks, Game 4 of their playoff series. Baseball, Tigers in Boston tonight. Nope, rained out, postponed. They'll play a day-night doubleheader tomorrow at Fenway. Meanwhile, the catch of the weekend in baseball came in Oakland. Teoscar Hernandez at bat. Ramon Laureano robs him a home run in what could be the catch of the year thus far.
When he needs to control the running game.
Mariano's now going back. He's still going back. He's near the wall, and it is. He caught it. He caught it.
Amazing, amazing catch. This is Dallas Braden, who does the A's games. Look at his reaction to that. Despite that, Toronto won 5-4 and completed a 3-game sweep. NFL draft comes up on Thursday. Seahawks are ready to deal Frank Clark if you want him. They want at least a #1. Chiefs, Colts, and Jets all interested. Finally, Pitt beat Syracuse in women's softball the other day. And while Pitt's coach was being interviewed live on TV, one of her players, Alexi Haynes, ate a worm live on TV while it was happening. She's on the right side of the screen in this segment we call Game of Groans.
How do you think your lineup has adjusted from seeing Alexa Romero with a much more quick delivery and now to Miranda Hearn with a little bit of a slower pitch?
Well, I think we can do better. I think we need to track the spin of the pitch closer to the barrel of our bat because we're certainly out front of it a little bit more. So I think we can do better, and I think we'll see this timely adjustment come up as we get going.
That is so bizarre.
What did we just see?
Oh, my goodness. All right.
Oh, my God.
Thank you, Bernie. We'll see you at 6.
Let's get a quick check of the forecast with Ben.
I have no worms. So
I know, seriously.
We'll circle it right over here. We've got plenty of sunshine out there. Current temperatures anywhere between the upper 60s and low 70s in most spots. But we've seen a whole lot of nothing on the satellite till just now, starting to get a few clouds moving into our west zone. We'll see a lot more as the nighttime wears on, and eventually we're looking at showers and a few thunderstorms after midnight tonight, heading towards tomorrow during the morning commute. Pretty mild overnight low at 54. And don't be surprised to hear a couple rumbles of thunder as we get closer to dawn, but we're not anticipating anything strong or severe. 68 on the high side tomorrow. And there's some waves in that line over the next 7 days, but they're all 60s. And they're generally all above average, except for Monday's high. So pretty mild stretch going forward. Here's today's Hanson's weather window out in River Rouge. And I'll tell you, everything just looked like it got painted green this weekend.
So pretty.
That sun came out on Sunday, and it is definitely looked like spring has sprung.
Finally.
Thanks, Ben.
So to come, it's been billed as the next giant leap in smartphone technology, but it looks like there's a small problem.
What Samsung quietly did with its new foldable smartphone that's raising real questions about if it's ready for prime time.
Britt Hanson's.
Samsung delaying the release of its foldable smartphone.
The company says the $2,000 Galaxy Fold will not hit stores April 26th. This comes after early users found defective hinges and broken screens. Several launch events in China were postponed over the weekend. Samsung plans to announce a new release date in the next few weeks.
Local 4 News at 6 is next.
And here's Devin with what's coming up.
So I now have to wait longer not to buy one.
Yes, you do.
Right.
It's $2,000, I believe. Yes, okay.
Expensive.
Working on stories coming up from Harper Woods, Romulus, and Rochester Hills. Also, you'll see the end of a wild police chase in Sterling Heights of a suspected drunk driver who'd been given some bad information. Rod.
Your home is supposed to be your castle.
I feel 100% betrayed because we took him into our home.
But this woman lost her engagement ring to somebody she thought was a friend. We'll have her story.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Police in Macomb County get their man, a suspected drunk driver, but not without some trouble.
Attacked inside her own home.
Because I could have died and I didn't have any way to protect myself.
A Clinton Township woman is speaking out tonight after an assault left her frightened for her life and without her diamond engagement ring. Off the top tonight at 6, it's a case that took investigators from Clinton Township to Detroit to Washington, D.C.
It all started, in fact, 3 weeks ago inside a home near 15 Mile and Gratiot.
Rod Maloney live in Clinton Township tonight after having just spoken with the victim. It's pretty scary stuff here, Rod.
Very scary stuff, Devin. It was right behind this door in a garage where a woman says another man attacked her, tried to choke her, bound her hands with duct tape, and it took a snow shovel for her to cut that duct tape off once he'd left with her ring.
I feel 100% betrayed because we took him into our home.
Tia McLean's talking about 48-year-old Shane David Fountain. She and her fiancé found him on an internet roommate service a year ago. They do have security cameras, though, and Tia claims this is moments before the attack. On a Tuesday morning, on her way to do some babysitting, she claims Fountain convinced her to go into her garage with him to look for a lost wallet. Just after feeding her tropical fish, she says Fountain grabbed her from behind and started choking her.
I told him he was going to kill me if he didn't stop. So I decided I was just going to play dead, I guess.
And then slumped to the ground, and she says he broke out the duct tape.
So when I'm all down on the ground, he does my hands, he puts one over my mouth, he does my feet, then he comes back to my hands, and he works at my ring. $17,000 engagement diamond he allegedly pawned in Detroit. Tia says this is the security camera showing him leaving the house. Like a con man, he wormed his way into our lives with one intention: to take from us.
Fountain's charged with assault with intent to rob while unarmed, assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder or strangulation, and unlawful imprisonment.
I've looked into women's self-defense classes. I bought myself pepper spray. I'm actually planning on going to the shooting range.
That was video of her coming in from the garage. The security cameras picked up her reaction to it all. So here's how it worked. Clinton Township Police called the U.S. Marshal Service, who were able to get a hold of the Amtrak police in Washington, D.C. They arrested him there, brought him back to Clinton Township for his arraignment here today, and he is in the Macomb County Jail tonight on $100,000 bond. Back to you.
And Rod, that was some engagement ring. Did she get it back?
Not yet. Now, there was a $3,000 payment apparently made at the pawn shop. So she says there's a lien on the ring, so she has to wait to see if the court will give it back to her or if perhaps somebody has to pay to get it back. They're still going to have to wait and see what becomes of that.
Oh, boy. All right, Rob.
A suspected drunk driver in Sterling Heights made the decision to make matters much worse by hitting the gas instead of pulling over for police. That led to this dramatic chase that went on for a while after he ditched his car. Jason Colthorpe is here with a closer look. Jason?
Yeah, and Sandra, just wait until you hear why this guy ran in the first place. But during this 4-minute chase, this driver does encounter some other cars on the road, even though it was their early morning hours, and a few traffic lights. But luckily, all of them were green.
It was 3:15 in the morning last Saturday when a Sterling Heights officer noticed a Ford Fusion swerving. The officer initiated a traffic stop, and after first pulling over, the driver takes off, quickly hitting high speeds, heading north on Van Dyke. Moments later, he's going east on Hall Road when you can see other officers coming the other way. As he makes the turnaround, the driver hits a sign and his car is disabled, so he makes a run for it. The man heads behind a business, but soon changes his mind. And seconds later, his run is over. As an officer cuts him off and jumps out, gun drawn.
You got a gun on you? No, sir. You got anything on you? No, sir. Why are you running?
At the end there, you heard the officer ask, "Why'd you run?" Couldn't really understand the answer, but later the suspect said he was fleeing because he thought he had outstanding warrants. As it turns out, he didn't.
Ooh, tough story. All right, Jason, I have absolutely no authority on which to pronounce this, but I approve of today.
Rubber stamp.
Whatever that means.
Big green check.
Gorgeous day.
You know, even though we've got temperatures in the upper 60s right now, I want to show you some of the temperatures across the area right now. Those numbers are in the 70s all across the area. A little bit warmer down to the south. Champaign.
Oh, it's right here.
But you start looking at day part forecast for tonight, we're going to go down to the 50s. Clouds will start increasing, and eventually we will see some showers, but it's not going to be until after midnight tonight. So coming up, we'll talk about how many days we're expecting rain and whether these gorgeous temperatures are going to hang around much longer. Don't forget to download our local forecasters app. It's got interactive radar, severe weather alerts, and a lot more, all in the palm of your hand. Download it for free in your app store by searching WDIV. Sandra?
Thank you, Ben. A father is behind bars tonight after shooting his 2-year-old son in the face with a shotgun. Michael Glantz now facing multiple felony charges, including attempted murder after shooting his son. This was after an argument with the boy's mother. The boy is right now at CS Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor. He's in critical but stable condition. Glantz is being held on a $10 million bond. He does face life in prison. His next court date is now coming up on May 1st.
Now to a Local 4 update to a story we've been covering since 2016. Detroit police are asking for your help in finding the killer of 15-year-old Jada Rankin. This is a sketch of the man they're seeking. He's 28 to 30 years of age, 6 feet tall, medium build. Rankin was killed in a shooting in 2016 on Ardmore Street near 6 Mile on Detroit's west side. She was a sophomore at Sterling Heights High School, where she was nominated for Homecoming Queen. In fact, she was a kicker on the school's football team. She recently had the playground at Sawyer Park in Detroit named for her. There is a reward for information on her death.
A Detroit man behind bars accused of robbing an elderly woman at knife point. Michael Hudson. Here's a picture of him. He's now charged with armed robbery and home invasion. Police say he broke into a home near Kelly Road in Harper Woods, took out a knife, and then demanded money from the woman, then pushed her to the ground. Police arrested him after finding him hiding in a garage. He is back in court next month. Romulus police are asking for your help to find 3 men who pulled a gun and robbed a 7-Eleven. Surveillance video here shows the men. They walked in with one of them pointing a gun right at the clerk's face. The 2 men then grabbed cash from the registers. The 3rd man was waiting by the door. If you have any information, call Romulus police.
A Sterling Heights man arrested last week in Troy is accused of driving with a blood alcohol level 5 times the legal limit. 44-year-old driver was stopped last Wednesday on southbound John R. near Maple. Witnesses say he might have been intoxicated. Well, a preliminary breath test showed an alcohol level of 0.40%. 0.08% is the legal limit, so you can see that is dangerously drunk. Police say the driver's license had been revoked and he had 2 prior convictions for drunk driving.
In case you weren't with us tonight at 5:30, we are very excited to welcome back Kimberly, who's been away on maternity leave. She is coming back on Wednesday.
Exactly right. We got a chance to visit Kim and her baby boy Basil, and here's a preview of our visit that you're going to see coming up tonight at 11.
It's gone by so fast. It feels like just yesterday, you know, the doctor was handing him to me. I don't know how it's going to go. And it's kind of scary. And I'm probably going to cry when I have to leave him. But I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to getting back into a routine of things. And now that we have him, it's just like our little life feels so complete, you know? We couldn't be happier. He is a miracle.
Seen a better head of hair on a 3-month-old child.
He is snuggable, isn't he?
Yes.
Can't wait for that tonight at 11. Looking forward to it. Now let's see what Lester Holt and his team are working on for nightly news tonight, immediately following our broadcast.
Lester's live tonight in New York with what's coming up. Hey, Lester.
I'm so happy for Kimberly with great shots, and boy, I used to have hair like that back in the day. Anyway, Devin and Sandra, tonight we're going to tell you some new concerns about another Boeing aircraft. There are workers claiming it may have been pushed out of production too fast. Plus, is your recycling going to waste on Earth Day? We look at why our recycling is piling up and creating a crisis.
And this is fascinating, Lester. This has to do with China rejecting our recycling goods.
Right, and that has increased some costs here, and we're going to have look at more cities now debating whether to scrap recycling programs altogether, and we'll look at the whole future of recycling when we see it coming up on Nightly News.
All right, thanks, Lester. A local business getting people's attention with a well-timed creation.
Forget about summer is coming, winter is here. Take a look at this dragon, and it is edible. We're going to take you to the bakery that put this beast together and show you how they got it all done.
All right, Paula, but first, a new option for treating ADHD. It does not involve medication. Dr. McGeorge tells us how it works and who might benefit next in Good Health.